We just had a debate here on Tuesday evening at Carthage College. And Carthage College invited all three of the candidates in to share the stage. Myself, Brian Stile, and Randy Bryce, which I thought was appropriate. That's the way it should be. They treated us great. There was a good interaction. Randy and Brian both had their entourages there. We didn't really go to an effort to drum up a big group of people to show up and carry signs and chant and so on and so forth. But I'll tell you what, after the debate, those guys had their people milling around with them, chatting. But there were a lot more people who came up to me that had never heard of me before and said, "I'm glad you're in this race. I'm really glad that I got here and listened to what you have to say. I'm voting for you, and I'm telling my friends to vote you."
Had you been in Congress this last session, would you have voted for the 2018 tax reform bill? Why or why not?
I definitely would not have voted for that tax package that came through. It was a big, wet, sloppy kiss for the big boys at the top. Not only that, but they're going to come and wipe your cheek over the next 10 years, so there's no evidence of that little kiss.
One way that would help would be if we were included in the debate in Janesville next week. It's going to be at the Whitewater University Rock County Extension, and I've been excluded from that debate.
The situation now exists where basically the president can declare war just about any time he wants to, as long as he gives Congress notice within 48 hours and asks them for approval. Well, the troops are already out there. What are you going to say? Bring them back in? That power needs to be taken away from the president and placed more firmly in the hands of the Congress. I don't think we should deploy troops unless there is a definite national threat. And we've got 800 bases in 172 countries around the world. I don't understand what is going on. Why are we the policemen of the world? It just makes no sense. I don't support additional taxation for additional deployments.
Anyway, I wanted to track down and find out why am I not invited to this debate. And it turns out I tracked my way back down to a gentleman who is the station manager at WFAW, Fort Atkinson, Wisconsin. His name is Jim Vriesen. And there's a personality on that radio show by the name of Andy Jorgensen. He's a former Democratic assemblyman for the state of Wisconsin, highly partisan. And those two guys decided that they didn't want me in the debate. Somehow or another, they strong-armed their position, or themselves into the position where they could make the choice of who was going to be at the debate and who was not.
Medicare itself, the model for Medicare, functions on about a 1 to 2%, typically 1%, sometimes less than that, administrative cost overhead. Traditional insurance sometimes trades as high as 40%. The Affordable Care Act capped it at 25%. Now there are people who claim to be conservatives who say this is a government takeover of health care. It's not. It's the people's response to a corporate takeover of health care. If you believe in government outlined for the people, it's the people's response.
He also said that they made their decision in part based on the Marquette Law School poll, and guess what? I went and looked at the poll. And you know how many questions there are about the congressional campaign and who's running for that office? 0. No questions whatsoever in the Marquette Law poll about the congressional campaign. So, total BS. You know, these guys, I think really, Bryce and Stile should have to list this debate on their campaign disclosure as campaign material, because it's obvious that it's an effort that's being done on the two-party system, on behalf of the two-party system. So I'm gonna look and make sure that they're listed there. This should be like a donation in kind, I think is the proper term. Anyway, we're going to be at that debate on Tuesday, whether they invite us inside or not. We're going to be passing out this literature, and we're going to explain to people why I wasn't invited, and they can read about my positions, and they can see for themselves whether they agree with me, whether they want to vote for me, or whether they want to vote for no change. We'll see what happens.